Hello everyone, this is the Underdog, aka the German Viking, and since people have gone after me in the comment section, telling me I'm wrong, and even on Twitter, going at me all day basically, for for saying that Ariel is a white character, I actually went to the original Danish book, which is I'm gonna link the original from the library of Denmark in a Wayback machine, and so I translated what is actually saying there, and I can now smugly take the apologies of those who commented on my videos previously and say I was right. So here are several of the excerpts of the book, and here are the translation. Or possibly a ship with many people on board. They certainly didn't think there might be a lovely little mermaid standing below them, stretching her white hands up towards the keel. So she lowered hers and saw that her fish's tail was gone, and that she had the most attractive small white legs any young girl could have. Now the slave girls dance graceful, floating dances to the loveliest music. Then little mermaid lifted her beautiful white arms. Then we have her sisters being described. Then her sister broke the surface of the sea. They stared sorrowfully at her, wrung their white hands. She waved to them. It grew quiet, and still on board, with only the mate still on duty. The little mermaid laid her white arm on the railing and looked eastwards towards the approaching dawn. Yeah. I wonder what people are gonna say to this, because people are still going at me in the comment section of my two previous videos and on Twitter. Basically, I was literally called a Nazi on Twitter for saying this, and even citing the evidence that I have directly from the source material. And I get called a racist, a Nazi, a bigot, all sorts of things on Twitter, ridicule as well. But I look at it as something deeper, because it is from Danish culture, Danish folklore, and anytime there is a change in any other fictional character or whatsoever, there is a outpouring of outrage against the movie and the actor or actress playing the role, because it is racist or bigoted or whatever. But when they do it to European culture or white culture, it is totally accepted if you change the origins of the character. You've seen me show you with the redheads being basically erased from comic books and books and movies in general. And now you have another redhead being described from 1837 by H.C. Andersen from folklore culture that is from Denmark. And people still see, this is the same thing. They're literally, Hollywood is literally culturally appropriating The Little Mermaid. And so people have also given me this, because I've been testing their arguments all day long. What if they just changed the name of The Little Mermaid? I would be fine with it, because then it wouldn't be based on the book that is supposed to follow in this movie. Name it Splash, name it whatever you want. I wouldn't care. But since it's a source material, then you should stay true to the source material. I'm a purist like that, and especially when it comes to something like folklore. And I've tested several people on Twitter the logic on this, and they say that you could change characters and their skin color as long as it's not a trait of the character, which logically and consistently doesn't make any sense, because when you create a character, their whole character flaws and character strengths and how they look, which sex they have a significance in how the character is. So even something like Nick Fury, they changing him to black just to get Samuel L. Jackson, I disagree with, because in principle you should follow the comics or just create a new character, but don't change existing characters just because you want diversity, and which, from my point of view, is what you're getting from Hollywood and this Little Mermaid remake. So they're also, by all accounts, gonna make Triton black as well. And I'm glad I got all of the support in my previous videos, but I just can't fathom the hypocrisy of these people, especially that I have been discussing with on Twitter. I just don't get their they don't even have any consistency. So I made an argument with Mulan. Let's make her into a black trans man. Why wouldn't that work? Oh, because the setting says she should be Asian. Yeah, but it's a fictional story. What if you change it? You could still tell the story. See, if you change an inherent trait of a character, you change the whole story. But for these people, because it's fictional, you can do it. But it doesn't make any consistent or logical sense, because and whenever I try to discuss with these people, I think the three or four of them just calling me a bigot and making pejoratives and using my past against me. I must hate women because I was part of Gamergate, and I asked for proof, didn't get any. They called me a racist. I asked for proof, didn't get any. Because I had made one argument that I said Ariel was white. That makes me a racist or an alt-righter. You see what kind of people I'm. They're not even intellectually honest. They're even creatively lazy when they're talking about movies. And the moral relativism is also at display. They can go against movies like Ghost in the Shell or anything like that and whine about this and call it racist. But when due to something as important, probably the biggest piece that H.C. Andersen wrote, that is totally fine to change the character of. Because diversity, more diversity, it has to be woke. The character's race doesn't matter, even though it's from Denmark and it's from European and Scandinavian culture. That doesn't matter. That would be like taking all the stories that they have in China and Japan and just changing the origin and putting white people or African people in Asian stories, or putting Asian or white characters in African folklore and stories. You don't think these people would be upset? Yeah, I thought so. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.